were babalaos. They were abacuas. They were paleros. Because this religion, when it arrived in Cuba, we came over as kings and we survived as slaves and left as prisoners, right?
Yeah.
Because of the oppression that we experienced. So you would have really educated, really, and these are people that may have not ever finished a third grade education, that were in this situation and still were amazing practitioners of Ifa, but they were prisoners, right? And it was actually a huge reason why Ifa came over in that influx in the 80s and arrived in Miami. And, a large part of it going back to the Bronx again. But you really can't separate either of them. And I don't think it's a reflection of us. I think it's a reflection of oppression. So what you're saying really resonates. In the Odu, or an Odu or a sign of Iwori Wofun, there's a pataki that speaks about prison reform and, how successful is it actually in helping men better themselves or people. There was a person, and I'm going to get your input on this now. I'm going to ask you whether you believe this after saying this story. The guy's name was Iwori Wofun. At least in the mythology of it all, he was a plant. It was known as the bucabuya or the aroma amarilla. And this guy, based on conditions that were placed upon him, he ended up, getting into some activity that ultimately led to him being incarcerated. The guy, when he got to prison, actually got better at his craft, right? He intensified. He realized that he had to become even more vicious, to the point where him coming in as a nobody, he ended up becoming a leader of a group in there. And his group was all in. He was a leader. People were down for him. Like, it was just, this is our guy. He is the epitome of what we need, to lead this group. And the gentleman began a relationship from inside prison with a woman, something he had never really experienced before. And, he fell in love with her, and she said, I think I might have a way for you to get out of here, but, you got to go. So when he goes back to his, group, he says, hey, I fell in love and I got to go. And they were like, nah.
That ain't happening.
Nah, you're not going nowhere. Where they actually tried to assault him, and he was able to escape by way of his lover's, assistance. And, he conveyed to her, he's like, prison didn't make me better. You made me better. You gave me that horizon. You gave me the hope that I could not just be, an inmate, right? So I guess Ifa says in this Odu, prison doesn't necessarily reform anyone. Would you say the same thing? How do you feel about that? Does prison help?
Absolutely not.